Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Hi. How are you, Hannah?
I'm good. How are you? I'm excited.
I am so excited to talk to everyone today. Good afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you're coming from. I saw some people already saying where they're at in the world. So, hi. Welcome to Creatively's Grow Your Business with Canva class. We're so excited to hang out with you today and go over all the awesome tools at your disposal to grow your business with Canva. So some of you already have, let us know in the chat where you're from, but I'd also love to hear, what kind of businesses you're working with, what field are you working in, and how are you using Creatively or Canva? It's always so fascinating to see what everybody's working on. So while you tell us in the chat, here are a couple of things I want to touch on real quick before we get started. The session's going to run about 30 minutes with about 15 minutes for Q&A at the end. And do me a favor, if you have any questions you'd like answered during that Q&A or a demo that you'd like, go ahead and pop those in the Q&A box as opposed to in the chat. So that way we can have them all in one place and know exactly where to find your questions once we get to that part. So we are so excited to announce that there will also be a promo code for Canva Pro that you'll receive at the end of the workshop. So make sure to stay tuned. And also this workshop will be on YouTube later, so keep your eyes peeled for that if you'd like to review it again. So Hannah, please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, guys. I'm Hannah. I'm the creator of Brown Girl Hands, which is kind of a content creation studio. And I primarily work with beauty brands in the beauty space and have built my business in the digital space over the last 2.5 years. So I'm excited to share how Canva has helped me along the way.
Awesome. And it's been such a pleasure working with you over the last few weeks getting this together. My name is Katy, and I am a design educator here at Canva. So I spend most of my days making sure that everyone understands the really awesome tools that are at your disposal when using Canva. So I am excited to bring that to the Creatively audience today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Katy has great tips for you guys.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so. So first up, a little about Canva. Is there anyone, let us know in the chat, is there anyone who has never used Canva before? Is this your first time, or are some of you kind of comfortable with it already? Let me know. Canva has over 500 creatives on our team. We have the utmost respect for all creatives. Our product is created by creatives for creatives, and we want to empower you to use Canva while also celebrating and supporting your work. We've got people that are brand new, and we've got people that use it all the time. I love it. Well, this is for everybody. We want you to be able to spend more time doing what you do best, coming up with ideas and creating amazing work. This is something that we'll keep coming back to in this event because it's truly the principle of what we believe in. Canva is a creative tool that makes it easy for you to manage the business side of your creative practice. Whether you're a solo entrepreneur in a team setting, working with clients, whatever. Over the last few years, the way the whole world communicates has changed in some radical ways that have put creatives at the heart of what is going on in global visual economy. Visual communications is now the status quo, which means your creative work has more importance and impact than ever before. And extending and defending that work is more important than ever. Don't you agree, Hannah?
Yes, 100%.
This is why Canva is building a visual work suite to ensure you have all the tools to not only do amazing creative work, but to make sure that your work is honored and advanced by your clients. So I'm really excited to be speaking with you today alongside my Creatively co-host, Hannah. We're going to run you through how Canva can support you to scale and grow your business, work better with other designers and clients, and set up your business for success so you can work on what you do best. So let's get started. You ready to get started, Hannah?
Yes, so ready.
In the world of Canva, the tool that we're usually talking about for organization and business growth is our platform, Canva for Teams, which combines pro features and allows you to work with lots of other people together. But Canva for Teams is growing your business if you're working alone, with a team, collaborating with other artists, managing clients. And there are just so many ways that you can use the Canva features for growth. But today we're going to focus on the most essential assets as listed on your screen right here. We're going to talk about branding, collaborating, and organizations, all crucial parts of business growth.
So as creators, we all know that branding is extremely important, whether you are creating branding for your own personal brand, because I know a lot of you sounded like you have your own businesses, or if you're running an agency and you're creating branding for clients, you want to make sure that you're staying consistent across all of your touch points. And this will help your brand grow in recognition, and that in turn helps grow your business. So in this section, we're going to discuss some of the key features that Canva offers to help you do just that.
Yes. Okay, first up, I want to talk about the brand kit feature in Canva. Hannah, let me know, have you set up your own brand kit for Brown Girl Hands?
I have. You can all see it here on the screen.
I love that. Like, if you're a Canva user, let us know in the chat if you've set up your brand kit. So, okay, what is a brand kit? A brand kit is your space where you can pull in your logos, set your hex codes, set your fonts, upload fonts if you have specific ones that we don't, for whatever reason, don't have. So here on the screen, like you said, is Hannah's brand kit. Hannah, what was your experience like setting up your brand kit? Was it easy? Did it take time? Let us know a little bit.
It definitely took literally, guys, probably less than 10 minutes. Once you have your logo designed, you can upload it and Canva will pull the colors from your logo straight into your brand colors. And that makes it super simple to then, when we talk about later, make your experience even better.
That's so cool. And the reason I think this is particularly important when growing and expanding your business is that it's, like you said, it's only going to take you seconds to set up, and then you can transform any design, any template that you might be working on in seconds, in a snap, after setting up your brand kit.
Yes.
I've seen a couple of people in the chat saying, I have one for this business, I have one for this other one, which brings us to the point is that you can set up 100 brand kits. Pro users can set up 100 brand kits. So I've already seen a couple people say why, but let me know if you can think of any reasons why you might need that. I've seen it, like, let's say your business runs seasonal campaigns. So maybe in the fall, you have different colors that you use than in the spring. So, you'll set up a fall brand kit, a spring brand kit. But also I see a lot of freelancers setting up their clients' brand kits. So setting up a brand kit for client A and client B with their logos and their fonts is really just going to make it so much easier for you to scale and work with more potential clients. All right, next up, we are making brand templates. Creating a template that you can copy over again and again is going to make that repeatable process so much easier, especially if you're working with a team. Let's say you have someone that helps you issue invoices or create your batch social media post. If you go in and build out these templates that you want used every time, you can just designate, this will be changed, this will be a constant. So, if you have a template for a social media post, they can change the image each time, but the fonts are going to stay the same. It's just, once again, really going to be about scaling the process so you can do more with little backup work.
Yes.
So these are your templates, Hannah. I love that you're using it for invoices. Since I don't have clients that I invoice regularly, I was like, oh my gosh, when I saw that is such an amazing idea. Has that expedited your billing process with your clients?
Yes, I think a lot of times as creatives, the business side is something we like to avoid or put off. But so having a template for those things helps me get the parts I love the least done faster, um, so to speak. And so it's really easy. I really just go in there and change the invoice number, change the client and the address, and then list out what the deliverables over the scope of the project was. And then that's it. And I export as a PDF and I don't have to like make it from scratch every time. So keeps
I
it really simple.
I love that. And I think, well, I'm sure we'll come back to this point, but I love the thought process of just set that all up and get that done. And so that it's easy to just repeat the process so you have more time doing what you actually love, which is being creative. Love it. Here is a really cool feature that can be used for so many purposes and can expedite your process for creating templates and other branded content to allow you to spend more time designing. Let me know, has anybody ever imported a PDF and then started editing? You can also do it with slideshows, I believe, several different types of content. Let's say you have a PDF on your desktop that you created in InDesign or some other platform, and you're rebranding or you want to use it for multiple clients. You don't have to start from scratch every time. You can just drag and drop it into Canva. And then if you have your brand kit set up, just in a couple of clicks, completely transform it. So easy. Oh, we've got a lot of people. I think this is this is new for a lot of people. We can probably show you in the chat when we get into the demo. I'll have to see if I have anything on my desktop that we can do that with. But yeah, you can import PDFs. That's one of my favorites. I love seeing everybody being like, oh, Canva can do that.
Everyone's so excited.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, we're going to talk about collaboration. In the chat, let us know, what type of people are you working with? Is it clients? Is it coworkers? Is it a team that you manage? Whatever project you're working on, Canva has some really great ways to ensure that your team can work together effectively and seamlessly. So let's jump right in.
Yeah. Okay, when it comes to scaling your brand, growing your business, and working with others, the collaboration feature in Canva, I believe, is what really is going to set us apart from other design platforms.
Yes, and the collaboration feature is truly one of my favorites. I see some college students in the chat. Before, when I was in school, I used to use the collaboration feature here to work with my team members on so many different projects, and it really just brought our presentations and our communications skills to the next level. Now I use this to communicate with clients and kind of keep them involved in the photography process.
Yes. First off, if you're working on something, you can invite someone to hop in and design with you or just provide feedback. So let's say you've created a design that you may not be ready to publish and you want to get someone else's eyes on it. Maybe your social media manager, you want to get their eyes on it or something. Simply share this project with them by tagging them or putting in their email address. You can invite people to edit, comment, or just view.
Yes, and I like to put together like a deck or a bigger contact sheet for my clients, and this lets them comment on photos in the post-production process, and we can kind of work together on which photos we're going to go forward with.
Yes, I love that. This is also a space where you can give and receive feedback with your team. So if someone on your team submits a design to you, here with an editor, you can leave notes, suggest changes, give praise, propose ideas right here within the editor. I love this because this, like, let's say you're working with someone on your team and you send them a message being like, I need you to update that image on the newsletter template. And it's like, which image, which template? But if you're working together in Canva, it completely takes the guesswork out of it. It's just like, oh, that image, it makes the communication so much more effective, I believe.
Yes. And here's an example also of like how clients might provide feedback. They can comment. A lot of times if you're doing photography or content, you may have different versions of photos or different angles, and you can allow them to comment and be like, oh, I want photo A, or on photo B, can you edit it this way, post-production notes, how they want things edited, can you fix this? They can put boxes around, like, can you straighten this, all that type of stuff.
So what, previously were you probably having to like download the deck, put it in a Dropbox or send it via email,
Yeah,
wait, and then like bring it
it
back
was
into the editor?
it was kind of like I would put all the photo options in like a Dropbox, and then they would email me which ones they wanted or which correct ones they wanted to reshoot. But it was like it would just be like a long list, and you'd have to like go back and match it up to like which
Ugh,
photo they're talking about. But this lets them comment directly straight on here. So
that honestly just sounds exhausting. So I'm so happy that you found a more streamlined, easy, because this sounds like easier for you, yeah, but also easier
yeah,
for your client too.
yeah, 100%. I feel like they feel more involved too. You can build mood boards on here together to see what both your inspiration is. It's great.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Another feature in the collaboration process that I just don't see anywhere else is the video editing feature. When it comes to marketing your brand, let us know, are you, really taking advantage of the video craze right now with like TikTok and Reels or anything? I know, Hannah, I've seen you
Yeah.
starting to play around with Reels with video in your Instagram content.
I'm now getting started. I'm trying to do more videos. So I think this feature is going to be like the next big thing.
Yes. And, with real-time collaboration, you and your team can work together on videos in real time. And like I was saying, I'm just not seeing this with any other platform. A really good use case is a colleague of mine and me at Canva were working on a TikTok video for the Canvas TikTok. And she lives in Sydney. So, we only have our working hours only overlap like 2 hours a day. So instead of working and then sending her notes and sending her the video so she could upload it into her editor, I can just tag her and be like, hey, this is where I left off. And she can just jump in and start working on it. It has just made it so much less of a headache.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right. And we love video. I see a lot of people are trying to get more into it. I wasn't the biggest video girl before, but I feel like it's grown on me a lot. So
And it's just, if you were trying to get your brand seen on social media, like
yes,
it's a big
really
thing right
important.
now.
Yeah, it's a good way to increase brand exposure too, which is another way
Absolutely.
to grow your business.
Yeah.
So for our last pillar, we're going to be talking about organization. And while organization may not be as new and exciting as video, it is a part of growing your brand and really important for successful businesses. Taking the time to set up your Canvas space in a way that makes sense for you and your business and your clients and your team now is going to leave you more time to do what you love later. So let's dive in.
Two great ways to stay organized with your team of creatives on your own or with clients is with folders and groups. This is key to sharing, getting organized, and especially when you're working with clients, you want to make sure everything lives exactly where it needs to be. So let's discuss it.
Yeah, groups is especially helpful. So many of us are small business owners, or you're working with a lot of freelancers, and each freelancer may be helping with a different sector of your business. So you can have a group for your social team, a group for your photography team that you plan shoots with. So it's just really helpful to break everything down and to have team members also meet each other because everything's so virtual these days. So they'll get to see who they're working with.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just jump right off what Hannah was saying because groups is an awesome feature. Let me know in the chat if anyone's using groups or if you have any hot tips on some really creative ways to use it. Like I said, I'm always fascinated with what our customers and users are doing. It's just a really important part of that collaboration aspect of the Canva environment. So I want to spend just a little time on making sure you understand it. So depending on the size of your team, you might have lots of departments working together. Like Hannah said, maybe some stakeholders only work on social media. Maybe some stakeholders only work on YouTube content. Maybe some only work on, print or something like that. put them in the groups together so that they can more easily share their content with each other instead of sharing with every single stakeholder or every single client or whoever working on a project. It's just going to make it so much easier to make sure that your work gets in front of the eyes of the people who need to see it.
Yes.
Folders are also an aspect of your team space that is going to be key to organization within your team. Your team's folders are going to set your team up for success, making content and design a lot easier to find. For instance, let's say you have a folder just for social media posts and templates. Then you can now create up to 10 subfolders. So Hannah, we've already been talking about, your Instagram is looking amazing. Yes. So you might have an Instagram folder, but then you might have
a Reels folder,
a Reels folder within the Instagram folder, all your different content pillars right within there to stay super, super organized. And that's just going to help, again, when you're working with more stakeholders, help them know where to find it. So setting up your content and designs in folders is really important once you get into the editor. So let's showcase that now. Hannah, I remember when I showed you this a couple of weeks ago, you were like, wait, what?
Yeah, because I always upload the photos. So before I used to upload the photos when I was working on the design, like one by one, like as I found photos I liked. And then if you went to my photos, they would just be in a jumbled mess. But uploading the photos first, putting them, organizing in the folders by project just makes it streamlines the whole process, making your design easier.
Yeah, and you can, once you have your folders set up, you can then access those folders within the editor. Yes. So here's a scenario I see a lot. Let's say you've just done a photo shoot and you want to start working with those pictures in the editor. So like you're saying, before you knew, if you just dragged and dropped them into the editor, that's great, but your team's not going to see them. So and they might have to be like, hey, can you send me those? But if you just put them all into a folder in Canva, make sure that it's shared with your team.
Yes.
Also getting rid of having to have a Dropbox or a Drive for those when they're just going to go into the editor anyway. So instead, you might want to create a folder that perhaps is labeled photo shoot A and upload those pictures, and then just find photo shoot A folder once you're in the editor. Just makes it so much easier.
Yes, and this is a great way to give everyone easy access to the assets they need when they're building social media posts, presentations. I see someone in the chat is saying better than their Where's Waldo. That's what I used to do. Just scrolling forever to find the photo you're looking for, because I didn't know that you could put them in folders. And you can switch back and forth between the folders. It's a great tool.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into Hannah's Brown Girl Hands environment. And we have just a short little demo for you to show you everything, or most of the things we just talked about. Yeah. So first of all, here's her brand kit. She's got 2 different brand kits, and we'll show you how you can toggle back and forth between those. But let's go into the Brown Girl Hands one. And these are uploaded as SVGs, which when you're pulling them into the editor or into your brand kit, I suggest uploading them as SVGs with a clear background as your best practice, which we'll show you why in a minute. But yeah, Hannah, so whenever you uploaded your logos, it just automatically pulled those colors from your logos, right?
Yes. And then you can feel free to click the plus sign and add a few more yourself if there's something missing.
Yeah. And so if you've got the hex code, you can put it right here. And also if you're doing print, you can put in your CMYK.
Yes.
So then let's go ahead and create an Instagram post. All right. So we're just going to pull a template. You can definitely design things from scratch. We're going to pull a template in for time saving. Now, let's say that Brown Girl Hands or Hannah wants to create, you got a really good review and you want to display that online. So we have this template right here. And so you see this projects right over here. I'm going to open that and go to folders. And now you can see the pictures that she's set up. And so I'm going to drag this folder this picture that she's already set up in her folder. Love it. So, obviously we're going to change this to, and then working with Hannah was amazing. And then see this logos over here. So there are all of her logos. And this one, let's say we're just going to go ahead and pull that in. And remember, I said saving it as an SVG is important because now, let's say, each season you want to do your logo a different color. I can now change it to black, back to brown, to red. I can also, take this little eye drop and let's say I like this color on her finger right there. Change it to that color.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, isn't that pretty? I like that color. And then also, let's go click on colors. Here are all the colors from her brand kit. So we're not having to remember the hex codes. And then I could also switch over to this brand kit and do that as well. So that is why it's important to set up all your brand kits. What were you about to say, Hannah? I'm sorry.
No, it's so simple. It's so easy. I love it.
So simple. Okay. So let's say I'm like, all right, I think this is ready to post. So I just tag Hannah. Hey, is this approved? Assign it to Hannah. Make sure I put that she can edit if I want to work with her. But if I wanted to just get her comments on it, I can just put can comment. Okay. So while I'm waiting for Hannah to hop in, I'm going to go ahead and have a look at a few of your questions.
Yes. I just got your ping, Katy.
Yeah.
All right. I think the only thing is we should change the client. Who should we put? Maybe we'll put Rare Beauty.
There you go. And so then from there, we can start working together. Maybe I'm like, can I put a filter on it? And then she can say, no, leave it as is. We can just start collaborating from here. All right, so we have one question. Collaborating with clients and teams for projects, how is access shared via password login? So if they have a Canva account, you can, even if it's like a free account, I believe, you can just share that with them. So they don't need your login. They'll just be able to see it in their own Canva. Good question. Okay.
Hi, all. Kyle from Creatively hopping in here to help read through some of these questions for Katy and Hannah to answer for you guys. Thank you so much for all of that information. You guys have overloaded us with everything that we need. It's so greatly appreciated. To jump into the next question, how do you go about licensing for different elements or fonts on Canva to use for your business?
That is a really good question. If you have a pro account, you can use all of the elements and everything in like paid promotion or everything, but we have a legal video on YouTube that was just updated recently. So I would have to check with that. You can use it in any of your promotional and you can use it for paid, but you just can't say, completely designed by XYZ.
That makes it so much clearer.
But we have a really great YouTube video that was just uploaded last week about some of the ins and outs. So definitely check out our YouTube.
Awesome. I saw a few questions about this in the chat too, but can you guys just briefly explain what a deck is? People don't really, know the lingo.
Yeah.
Yes. So in like marketing terms, it's basically just like a presentation. It's basically the presentation format. Just sometimes in like a marketing or like a business sense, it's just shortened to deck, which is just short for like a pitch deck or a presentation deck.
Thank you so much. I'm sure that helps to clarify things for a few people. One person asked, if I share a project with someone, do they have to have Canva Pro to edit?
I don't believe so. I don't believe they have to, I believe they can edit on the free account. They just might be limited in what elements they can use.
Amazing. I love the access, the ease of access.
Right.
Next up, okay, this one is for Hannah in particular. How do you get started, or how did you, excuse me, get started building your brand? And how was Canva helpful for when you were first starting out?
Yeah, so I started on Instagram, basically just posting on Instagram and gaining clients that way. Canva was really helpful because when I first started, I didn't really know how to do anything from scratch yet. I didn't know what like an invoice was supposed to look like, or different types of posts. So I actually used to use a lot of templates before making like my own custom invoice and things like that. I used to use the invoice templates on Canva, the presentation templates on Canva. And that's what I started out with when I didn't know like how to do everything yet. But it's been really helpful because starting, even if you're not in a place where you can do everything from scratch, starting with a template at least gives you like an understanding of how things are supposed to look or how things work. And then you can always expand from there.
Amazing. Thank you. Leading to the next question, you can go directly from that same thought and answer, what's your favorite Canva feature and that helps you to land a dream client? And I don't know if Katy, you have an answer for that as well, but I'd love to hear from both of you.
Ooh, favorite Canva feature. I probably think, I feel like it's the presentations, because I feel like a really well put together presentation that showcases like all of your work. A lot of times when clients reach out, they want like an example of past work that I've done. And so having a really strong like portfolio PDF that like you can send them, I feel like really raises their confidence in your work. And then they can say like, oh, I love this shoot that you did with this brand or this brand. And even if you're not in a place where you've worked with big brands yet, doing test shoots or like creating content on your own and putting it in there so they can see what you're capable of, I think is really helpful.
That's a great answer. Katy, do you have a favorite tool?
I love the magic background remover, and it's now available on video too. I do a lot of social media content creation when I'm not at Canva, and it's just made me be able to be a lot more creative with the focal points and, you know, take out the background and focus on the person or the product or whatever you're trying to focus on, and just make it more branded. So that's my favorite.
Awesome. A bit of a tech question here. What's the storage limit for files? And are there different levels of membership? Or are you supposed to pull projects off and store somewhere else once the client has signed off and paid?
That is a really good question. I actually don't know what the storage one is. I'm sure we have that listed somewhere on our website, but I will definitely educate myself on that after this. But it should be a pretty healthy storage. So you don't need to delete files.
It looks like Tasha just dropped a link in the chat. Tasha from Canva provided an answer as well. So
great. Thank you, Tasha.
Yes, thank you, Tasha. Another question is, do we have access to subfolder, a folder within a folder? And all of the features shown are accessible, are all of the features shown accessible within the editor?
Yep. So like here is, for instance, here's an Instagram folder, but let's say we then wanted to create the folder within the folder. We can now have, you know, reels.
Yeah.
And then, so now you'll have that subfolder. And yeah, when you're in the editor, folder, and now you can go to your reels right there. Yeah. We don't have
Sweet. I love the demos. This is Canva. Canva really makes everything so easy. It's amazing. Another great question, and this leads right back into your presentation. There are a number of ways to collaborate with others on projects. But is there a way to set up is there a way to set up projects, multiple businesses that you have for multiple businesses that you have worked with. Excuse me, I had to gather myself there. Did you get the question? I stumbled
I'm
over.
afraid not. I'm sorry. Can you say it
Yeah.
again?
Yeah. So it says there are a number of ways to collaborate with others on projects, but is there a way to set up projects for multiple businesses that you work with or have?
Yeah, you can do like the up to 100 brand kits and then kind of do it that way. But Katie, I'm curious if you have.
I was going to say also adding people to groups. So, if they mean like creating for a bunch of different organizations, then yeah, the brand kit. But if they mean like collaborating with a bunch of different stakeholders, even if they're from other organizations, set them up on your team and put them in groups together. Which that can be, you can find groups right here. So yeah. So like this says, photography team. So just add everybody that's going to be working together on the photography together in that group. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah.
I hope that answers their question too. I think that was pretty thorough. Can you explain how to use your content planner tool? They just learned that it existed.
Yes. I love the content planner tool. So yeah, you can just go on here and you can either press the plus sign and say, we want to, that review we just made, we want to schedule it from here. You do need to hook up, I don't have anything hooked up to this account right now, but you need to go ahead and hook up your account, which takes literally, like, especially with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, I believe, if you're already signed in those browsers to those accounts, it like literally takes 10 seconds to hook up. And then from there, you just add, you can put in your caption, schedule it, the time, but you can also do it from right here within the editor as well. You don't have to leave the editor to go in there. You can go ahead and schedule it from here. It's telling me to set up an account. I don't have it set up, but yeah, super, super easy and such a time-saving feature. Yes. Especially if you're like currently downloading stuff to then go post it. Yeah.
Or just like, I do really bad at like remembering, like, oh, I'm going to post this at 3 today. And then at like 5 o'clock, I'm like, oops. And then I'm like, okay, I guess we'll try again tomorrow.
That's very relatable.
Definitely relatable. While you are in this screen, would you mind sharing how to drag and drop images between files?
Drag and drop like an image from here.
The question says, can I drag and drop images between my files? So like, I would love to see your answer and interpretation of that question.
What I think they might be asking is if they can like move this from this folder to another folder in the editor, which no, you will need to like go back and make sure, let's see, go home, make sure that you have put those in the right folders over on this back end. If I'm misreading that question, please let me know, but that's how I interpreted it.
I believe you can copy paste too, right? If you had like both documents in on, if you have them open onto separate tabs, you can take an image, copy it, and then open the other one and then paste it in.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can do that as well.
Awesome. Next question. Can you adjust video file size?
In the editor, I don't believe so. You can download your videos as MP4s or GIFs, but I don't believe you can like compress the files within the editor, if that's what they mean.
Drop in the chat whoever that question was for, if that clarified it for you, and then we can get back to it. Next question. What if you work alone but have multiple businesses? How can you use Canva for that?
Brand kits. Lots and lots of brand kits.
It's so easy to, I mean, we could just create a brand kit right here. It takes seconds to set up. And like you said, if you're managing multiple businesses, just set those up really, really easily. And once again, once you're in the editor, you can, you can toggle between your brand kits super easily.
Yeah.
And a big reason, like I was saying earlier with those logos, being able to just pull those in seconds and put them where you need them is going to make branding your content so easy.
Everything is so simple. Like it's just so wonderful. Another question is Instagram the only social media post you can schedule through Canva?
No.
Let's see what I believe. I mean, it's all the big ones.
All the major ones.
Yeah. So let's see. So we've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, to a Facebook group, Pinterest, LinkedIn page, Slack, and Tumblr.
Oh, even Slack. Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I've never scheduled a message through Slack, but now I know I can.
I schedule them to, like, if I don't want to wake people up late at night, if I'm working it, I schedule them for the next morning. Yeah.
But now you can schedule them through Canva.
I'm guilty of scheduling Slacks as well. Jumping back into the content planner, people seem to really be interested in this. Are you able to type up your captions as well, or do you have to manually add your caption to the IG after posting?
No, captions included.
Yeah, you can just right here, write your caption, include hashtags and everything.
Yeah.
All right, so for our last couple of questions, someone is asking about applying watermarks with Canva Pro. Can you give an example of that? I mean, it would be similar to putting any other elements within it, correct?
Mm-hmm. I believe you just lower the opacity.
Yeah, you just click this button right here.
Mm-hmm. And then just bring the transparency down, and then that can be your watermark. And you can change the color to, like, whichever color you want the watermark.
That to be like.
Yeah.
Amazing. And to close it out, we have a Hannah specific question about you and Brown Girl Hands and some of the work you've done. And it's a good creatively community type question as well. How did you obtain the collaborations and other features that you've had with, you've had some amazing features. So how did you go about doing that? I'm sure you used some decks.
Yes. I think really having a point of view on Instagram and social media is helpful, because brands are always like looking to work with someone with a point of view, but making sure that honestly your brand is like completely put together and wrapped with a bow. I think I make sure like my presentations are really well, how to pitch myself, think about what the story is that you're selling, because people love a good story as well. So I think all of those things are good things to think about when pitching yourself to different brands. Think about what you can offer them and what perspective how can you bring a different perspective to their brand. Hopefully that was helpful.
Absolutely.
And network with people, talk to people, meet Instagram friends, because you never know who they'll know, who they recommend you to. I find that a lot of brands I've worked with, a lot of people actually followed me from their personal for a while before bringing me into like their brand space. So just engage with your community. You never know where it'll lead you.
Yes. And all of you, I'm sure, are on Creatively as well. We're building community there. So engage there as well. But thank you guys so much. This was amazing. Katy, very greatly appreciated. Hannah, all-star, greatly appreciated. And guys, I know you see that code on the screen, so make sure you get that.
Yeah. For the code, I do want to make a note that you do need to be a new Canva user. So if you already have Canva Pro, wait until, this billing cycle is up, or sign up with a new email address. Awesome. Well, we've had such a lovely audience today. You guys made my day. Thank you so much. And Hannah,
Yeah.
I am just so inspired by your work. I thank you so much for working with me today.
Yeah, it was an honor. It's so nice like getting to chat with some of you guys for a little bit live. We don't get to do that often. So thank you guys for coming too. And thank you for Canva and Creatively for having us.
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.